This story is a short story that I wrote, a fictional short story that I wrote for Mr. Coletti, who was the poet laureate for Colorado for a few years. It was based off of a small picture that he showed me of a young girl with her arm around a dog and facing a window. And it was the first time I had ever met Mr. Coletti, and he had me write this short story for him in order to be in his class. My 6th birthday. I still remember the day my father stopped coming home. Believe it or not, it was my 6th birthday. I knew something was off before I even got out of bed. Knowing I wasn't going to school since it was my birthday, I laid in bed for as long as I could that morning, fully expecting my mom to come wake me up at any moment. But she never came. Eventually, bored, I got up. I opened my bedroom door and walked down the hall to the kitchen. Sure enough, on the breakfast nook was what I had been waiting for. I swear, I still remember the cold linoleum on my bare feet as I made my way over and clambered up the stool. I smiled as I sat face to face with my pancakes, and they happily smiled back with banana slice eyes, walnut nose, and chocolate chip mouth. My mom has made this for me on my birthday for, so far, my entire life. But my smile quickly faded. There wasn't any syrup, and after putting a finger to them, the pancakes were cold. So I did what any self-respecting 6-year-old would do on her birthday and took care of it myself. Mom! Within seconds, I heard my parents' bedroom door close and my mother quick-stepping down the hallway. "Oh, I'm so sorry, Pummy," she said as she came around the corner. Yes, she called me Pummy, short for pumpkin. Let me assure you, this did not make it easy to make friends. I was on my way to wake you, but the phone rang and I got distracted. Here, let me warm those up for you. How about I put extra syrup to make up for it, okay? She said while she took my plate and gave me a weird smile. I was near ecstatic at this. As I finished my pancakes, well, most of them anyway, and the big girl glass of milk that I insisted on having, my mom said, "Pummy, I don't want you watching TV today, okay?" "But Mom..." "Victoria, I said no television." She wasn't mean when she said it, but she used my real name, which pretty much made it law, and there was no use arguing. What was the point of staying home from school if I couldn't watch TV, I thought to myself as I slid off the stool and stalked off to my room. I don't remember what I did to while away those hours. Played with my dolls, I imagine. As an only child, you learn to be self-entertaining early. What I do remember is when I came out, I was, again, bored. Now you have to understand something about my mother to understand the scene that met my young eyes. My mom is the type to go all out on holidays. And yes, to her, birthdays are holidays. Everything has to be perfect. We weren't even allowed to decorate the Christmas tree without hot chocolate and Christmas music playing. Then she would just redecorate it the next day after we all decorated it together. This, however, is not what I saw as I moved through the house. All of the decorations were in disarray. Streamers were half hung and then rolls apparently just placed on a table or a counter. The table was literally half set with hats and bags of toys. The rest were in a box. A pan of cookies already done was on the stove, and another pan was on the counter and had been abandoned in the middle of putting raw cookie dough from a bowl on it. The only thing that didn't seem to need any attention was a banner that said, "Happy Birthday, Vicky," with balloons and confetti painted on it. Eventually, I found my mom in the front room staring out the window, with one arm across her chest and the other rubbing the cross around her neck between her fingers, and our family dog at our feet. "Mom?" I said tentatively. "Oh, Pummy," her voice croaked as she quickly came and gathered me up in a long, tight hug. Without knowing or understanding why, my eyes started watering. Finally, she pulled away and told me, "Honey, we're going to have your party a little late, okay? Just to give your daddy enough time to make it, all right?" I never had time to answer. Her phone rang and she ran to answer it. Knowing only that I really wanted my daddy to come home now, I went and sat in front of the window to wait and watch for him. "Come on, boy," I said while patting the seat next to me. He jumped up, and for the next few hours, me and my pup, Oatmeal, sat in the front window. Yes, my dog's name was Oatmeal. Pumpkin and Oatmeal. Like I said, childhood was not always kind. There really wasn't much to see other than some smoke in the far distant blue sky. Later that night, my mom told me why my dad hadn't come home from my party and why he would never be at another birthday of mine. I was born September 11th, 1995. And on my 6th birthday, my dad was one of the 343 and died a hero to the nation. My last memory of him is distant smoke on a beautiful blue sky.